Hello everybody, and welcome back. Last time we finally reunited with Isaac and everybody else, and we got our ship upgraded with the wings of animals. So this episode is going to focus mainly on us exploring a bunch of the Great Western Sea, a few areas that we can now access thanks to the ship and the new synergies that we got by joining up with Isaac and everyone else. So last time I ended up the episode in the middle of the Great Western Sea, and yet here we are back at the Yalam. Well, I have a couple of reasons. First off, I got a few items. I got the Excalibur for Isaac, and I got the, let's see, where is it? The Demon Circlet, but I'm still not certain of who I'm going to give it to. And I also rearranged my inventory a little bit. I sold a few of the cursed items because I'm not going to be using them, and I gave the Mighty Axe to Garrett. So normally I would do this off screen, but seeing as how we now have the Force synergy, we can finally do something about this log right here. So let's do that. And right here, in the giant patch of weeds, we have a cave entrance. And here we are. And we got the Masamune. So, first off, I want to quickly give this to Pierce. And now that the Phaeton's blade is unequipped, I'm going to give that to Ivan. Alright, so let's quickly go over the Masamune, shall we? Masamune has an attack boost of 161, its unleash is called Rising Dragon, it deals 62 extra mercury damage and it may double the damage dealt. Alright, so yeah, the Masamune, it is possibly one of the best weapons that you can get for Pierce. I mean, there are a few other weapons that are actually stronger, or that they at least have a higher attack boost, but the ability to deal double damage is immensely useful. So, before we head back to the Great Western Sea, I forgot to mention that, well, first off, now that we can of course fly, we can also pretty much park our ship, almost everybody, and getting to Yalam through the Great Eastern Sea is somewhat easier, because we can go over the shoal barrier. But, so now that we have lift, as well as a few other synergies, we can, technically, if we wanted to, completely explore the Treasure Isle. But I'm going to leave that for later, because we may not be fully prepared for what's in store for us. So, I'll make a quick cut here and I'll see you guys back at this particular point, because we're going to be doing a little bit of exploration in Attica. So, see you guys in a moment. Alright, welcome back. So, the reason that we're here is that now that we have our flying ship, there's a specific section of Attica that we can actually explore that we couldn't before. So basically we want to fly all the way through here, right around. For whatever reason we cannot fly over any section that will be forest, so there are some limits to how much we can explore. But right here we have a cave, the Attica Cavern, and of course, similar to the other caverns that we have explored, it contains a tablet summon. So before we get to that, let's go ahead and use Parch right here. And oddly enough, if you look at the walls, you can see that there are some strange inscriptions written in either red ink or hopefully not blood. But anyways, right here we have Felix can now summon Quadriclue. Summon Quadriclue. 3 Mercury and 3 Jupiter standby gene are needed. So we got ourselves a new tablet summon, and this is actually quite an odd one as compared to the other ones. So let's quickly go over that one, shall we? Quadriclue, a goddess bearing the water of life. She requires 3 Mercury and 3 Jupiter gene. She has a base power of 60 Mercury, After she is summoned, she provides a power boost of 60 Mercury and 60 Jupiter, and her main effect is that she regenerates the party HP for 5 turns. Each turn the amount regenerated decreases. The first turn it regenerates 60%, 50 on the second, 40 on the third, 30 on the fourth, and finally 20% on the fifth. Alright, so yeah, this is our first fully support summon. It does not deal any damage whatsoever. Of course, that doesn't mean that it's not useful. Anyways, before we head for a couple of spots in the Great Western Sea, there's one more thing that we can do at the moment in Attica. But of course, first we have to head back through the other side. So I'm not going to make a cut there, I'm just going to fly. I may consume a bit of our synergy, but we'll be fine. We will not be requiring much synergy for what we're going to be doing for now. Right, so, right here, we actually want to go to this particular shore. And I guess I might as well point out that, of course, we cannot unfortunately go over the rocky spires right here. Alright, are we? Yeah, here we are. So I also want to quickly switch up the party a little bit. That should be fine. Actually, I want to do one more thing. There we go. Alright, so I believe, yes, right here. So we want to head to a spot right there, and you'll see why in a moment. Although you may have already guessed why. And in the meantime, let's listen to Jenna's theme. Alright, so it should be right around here. There we go. Here we have a Mars Djinn. This is Core. It is level 31. It has 840 HP, 79 synergy, 264 attack, 80 defense, 226 agility, and 26 slack. Its elemental stats are the same as any other Mars Djinn. It normally yields 946 experience points, which then become 1229 if we finish him off with a Mercury Djinn. It drops 642 coins, which then become 834. And as for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Serpent Fume, Inferno, Supernova, Searing Beam, and Pyroclasm synergies, and of course the Flee command. And to be perfectly honest with you, this is actually a Djinn that we can obtain before we reunited with Isaac and everyone else, but it's not. I wanted to leave it for later, because now that we have 2 adepts of pretty much every element, getting the EXP boost and coin drop on the Djinn is far easier, as you'll see why in a moment. Alright, let's see, let's use Mist and Fall, why not? $303, that's fine, Serpent Fume. Alright, let's see, let's use Coal here, and I don't think Ivan can do anything. Well, let's use Laugh actually. And let's Slit and Sour. There we go. So that was quite easy. I haven't found the Mars gene core. Alright, so first let's set them all back. And let's give core to Garrett. So let's quickly go over our new friend. So, core. His battle effect is that he deals a Mars-based attack that is equal to the user's standard physical attack with an additional 50 points of damage, and it may ignore 50% of the target's defense. As for the set stat bonus that he provides, he gives a +8 to base HP, +4 to base attack, and +2 to base defense. Alright, so with that we are pretty much done with Attica, at least for now. This is all we can do right now. But for now, let's actually head back to the Great Western Sea, because if you recall, well, I'll continue as soon as the battle is over. When we first explored the Great Western Sea, when we had our basic ship, we saw that there was a shallow spot that was surrounded by shoals that we could do nothing about. Well, now that we got the Wings of Animus, we actually can do something. And I believe it's the one right here, or it might be... no, it's this one. So, it can be a bit tricky to position yourself properly here, because you may accidentally just land on the shoals. But I believe right here, there we go. There's something in the shallows. And we got a rusty sword. So, let's quickly go over this new weapon, shall we? The Soul brand has an attack boost of 141, its unleash is called Soul Shatter, it deals 50 extra Mars damage, and it may restore synergy by 10% of the damage dealt. Alright, so there's actually one other shallow spot that I want to highlight, the one right here. And well, for this one we don't actually need the Wings of Animus, but it's on the way to Hesperia, and that's going to be our next destination. So I will make a quick cut, and I'll see you guys back at this point. Alright, welcome back, here we are. And we have a rusty staff. So let's quickly go over the new weapon, shall we? The Goblin's Rod has an attack boost of 134, its unleash is called Sargasso, it deals 39 extra mercury damage, and it may kill the target instantly. Alright, so yeah, the Goblin's Rod itself, it's not that great of a weapon. I mean, the attack boost is not terrible, but the thing about any side effect that is either kill an enemy instantly or inflict haunt on them is that though they are strong, they rarely trigger, so it's much better to have maybe an effect that is not that strong, but it will activate more reliably. But anyways, there are a couple of things that we can do in Hesperia. First off, I want to head to one very specific spot in the map. A spot that, if you didn't know beforehand, you probably never think to visit. But it is right here. I'll just show you on the way. Right here. So one good way to know where it is you can kinda see a B right here, formed by the rivers. But right here, if we walk for long enough, we have a Venus gene. This is Petra. It is level 31. It has 830 HP, 77 synergy, 260 attack, 79 defense, 227 agility, and 26 luck. Its elemental stats are the same as any other Venus gene. It normally yields 937 experience points, which then become 1218 if we finish it off with a Jupiter gene. It drops 631 coins, which then become 820. And as for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Quake Sphere, Briar, Mother Gaia, Wild Growth, and Stone Spire synergies, and the Flee command. So, similar to what we did with Core, I'm going to switch one party member so that we can have 2 Jupiter adepts. Alright, let's see what we can do with Isaac. Let's actually drop its agility, so well, Sheba and Ivan will most likely go first, but just to be safe. And what can we do with this one? Let's boost attack, why not? And let's see if we can either put him to sleep or paralyze him. Alright. Alright, so we'll probably take him out on the next turn. Let's use... Gust can deal a bunch of damage, but it's not the most reliable one, so let's use Smog and Whiz. There we go. Isaac found the Venus gene Petra. Alright, so first let's set them all back. And let's quickly go over our new friend. So, Petra. Its battle effect is that it prevents the target from taking any action this turn. So, if you happen to use it on a boss, which usually take 2 actions, then that boss would only take 1. And it also has priority, so this effect will always go first. As for the set stat bonus that he provides, he gives a plus 11 to base HP and plus 3 to base defense. Alright, so yeah, it's actually really hard to know exactly to come here of all places to get a gene. And I would say that Petra is probably the toughest of all the genes to find if you have no clue where it is. But anyway, our next destination is actually the Shaman Village, more specifically the trial road section of it. But there's actually a couple of things for us in the Shaman Village cave first, so we're going to be heading there. Are we? No, a couple more to the left. There we are. We are starting to run a bit low on synergy, so I might rest at the inn of the Shaman Village. But we should be fine with the amount that we have left. And also, before we move any further, I want to quickly rearrange our party. That should be fine. I found Isaac! We've been looking for you, Isaac. Who are you guys? The name's Satrash. You took me out in the last round at Colosso. And I'm Asart. And don't forget Nabampa. Oh, it's you guys. Is there any way to say hello to some old friends? What's your problem? We want to talk to you about your fighting style at Colosso. Yeah, and we think you shouldn't have won, Isaac. We think you didn't fight fair. It sounds like you resent the fact that Isaac beat you. We've just been thinking about it, and there's no way that Isaac should have won. Right, so you think I cheated just because I used my synergy abilities in Colosso? Or rather, my Pinergy abilities in Colosso? I don't know how you did it. I'm just saying I think you cheated is all. Ah, but synergy is a warrior skill, every bit much as your sword arts. It isn't cheating. You're not listening, are you, old man? That fight was fixed, and we're here to pay you back. Alright, so first off, we have the Colosso theme again, which is nice. And here we have the 3 gladiators. First off, we have Asart. He is level 38, he has 365 HP, no synergy, 328 attack, 66 defense, 134 agility, and 10 luck. Its elemental resistances are all 90, and it has a Jupiter elemental power of 80. It will yield 355 experience points and 232 coins. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, and it has 1 Wizard's Claw, 2 Nuts, and the defend command. Up next we have Satrash. He is also level 38. He has 485 HP, no synergy, 342 attack, 74 defense, 145 agility, and 13 luck. Its elemental resistances are the same as Asart, and he has a Venus elemental power of 80. He yields 378 experience points and 249 coins. And as for its commands, it has the basic attack, it has 1 smoke bomb, 1 bramble seed, 2 nuts, and the defend command. And then finally we have Navampa. He has 735 HP, no synergy, 368 attack, 100 defense, 156 agility, and 17 lag. Its elemental resistances are all 90, and it has a Mercury elemental power of 80. It normally yields 398 experience points and 267 coins. And as for its commands, it has the basic attack, 1 sleep bomb, 3 crystal powders, 2 nuts, and the defend command. So let's try to be fair and give them a chance. They are complaining that we won only because of synergy, so let's just take them out with basic attacks. I think I'll leave Nabamba to Isaac, Garrett can take Satrash, and let's give Azar to Felix. And Ivan can just defend. So yeah, as you may have guessed, this is another of the events that will only trigger if you transfer over a save data in which you actually won Colossal. So yeah, it's actually pitiful, they don't stand a chance whatsoever. I wonder who will fall first. If Isaac actually gets the triple damage on Excalibur, he may take out Navampa right away. But we'll see. Let's see. Yep, goodbye. 812, that's insane. Down goes Azard. And Satrash. And Felix level up. These guys were phenomenal! Which one of you didn't think they won Colossal fair and square? It wasn't me. I think both you and Navampa were saying something like that. So, you don't still think our victory as Colossal was fixed, do you? No way, Isaac! We've seen the error of our ways. We promise we won't badmouth you or call you a fraud ever again. Will you forgive us? Sure. You're not such a bad kid after all. You came out here looking for treasure, didn't you? Here, this was in the chest we found. You were nice enough to forgive us, so we think you should have it. Right, well, I guess we'll be leaving now. By the time the next Colossal rolls around, we ought to be strong enough to win for sure. Maybe we'll see you there. Assuming that there ever is a next Colossal, now that Babi is dead, I imagine that the people of Tolby are not in a festive mood, but whatever. So, we got the golden shirt. We got yet another golden item, so I'm going to give this to Isaac. It only seems fair. And let's trade over the rusty stuff. And speaking of giving things to Isaac, technically, the golden ring that Pierce has, we should give it to him, because it was a gift to him from Feishi. So let's trade it over for the potions. And let's go over the golden shirt, shall we? So it has a defense boost of 12, and its side effect is that it boosts HP by 10 points. So, fairly useful item. Alright, and now that we have Lift, we can finally get that Mercury Gem. First I want to quickly set up a shortcut for it. And so, in order to get him, we first have to trap him. And in order to do that, if I'm not mistaken, we have to lift these two. Yeah. Because otherwise, if we just get to the top, he will infinitely run around, and we will never get him. Alright, I believe next was this one. Yeah. Because then when you use Frost on this puddle, and let's quickly use Whirlwind right here, and then we can go all the way up and next to the Mercury Gene. So, I want to again rearrange our party a little bit. That should be fine, yes. Here we are. and now he's trapped. So I also want to show another thing. Even though the whole gem itself has no use, we can technically try and use it on the Jin, as we did for one specific Jupiter Jin in the first game. And the effect seems to work, but all it does is, well, that we actually get to see the portrait of the Jin. But other than that, it doesn't really change anything. We still have to fight him. Alright, here we have Eddie. He is level 32. He has 860 HP, 80 synergy, 270 attack, 83 defense, 237 agility, and 27 luck. Its elemental stats are the same as any other Mercury Jin. It normally yields 989 experience points, which then become 1285 if we finish him off with a Mars Jin. It drops 656 coins, which then become 852. And as for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Deluge, Frost Spiral, Ice Missile, Mega Cool, and Freeze Prism synergies, and the Flee command. So we've been lucky so far with in our fights against Jin. Hopefully we can keep that up. So let's go ahead and lower its agility and see if we can stun him. And let's boost our agility again. $258. It did not paralyze him. Hopefully Garrett can go first. Alright, he only did a basic attack, so we should be fine. Alright. Alright, let's use Torch and then Cannon, and we should be fine. There we go. I haven't found a Mercury Jin Eddie. That's quite an odd name for a Mercury Jin. But anyways, let's give this one to Mia, why not? And let's put everyone back to set. Alright, so with that we are pretty much done. Actually, wait, I forgot to go over Eddie, sorry. So Eddie, his battle effect is actually quite unique. It boosts the Jin recovery speed. So normally, if you have a bunch of Jin that need to recover, you will only recover 1 per turn, but if you use Eddie, in a particular turn, you will recover 2. As for the set stat bonus that he provides, he gives a +9 to base HP, +3 to base agility, and +2 to base luck. Alright, with that let's finally head to the Shaman village. Well, look at that, there we finally have the Wild Griffin. I would have lost my mind if it actually gave us a feather road, but of course it didn't. Alright, here we are. And since we are quite low on synergy, I think this is a good moment to actually rest at the inn. Alright, so as I was saying, we have nothing to do on the village itself. We want to head for the trial road. And, well, since I already showed both of the path, the one on the left and the one on the right, I'm going to actually make a cut here and we'll be back as soon as we're at the top. But I figured I also mentioned that all of the chests that were available throughout the trial road are still there, so if you want to, you can go ahead and get all of them. I'm not going to do that because we have a ton of healing items, especially now that we regroup with Isaac and everyone else. So I'll see you guys in a moment. Alright, welcome back. So yeah, right here, with the Hover Jade, we can actually explore another section of the trial road. but of course, if we just went here without the lift synergy, we would be screwed. So even though the section that we're about to explore is actually quite short, there are a few returning enemies from the first game that can only be found here. Speaking of which, here we have the Nightmare. It is level 31, it has 258 HP, 28 synergy, 287 attack, 89 defense, 138 agility and 13 luck. It has a Venus resistance of 72, a Mars and Mercury resistance of 100, and a Jupiter resistance of 127. And it has a Mars elemental power of 85 and a Jupiter elemental power of 100. It normally yields 241 experience points, which then become 313 if we finish it off with a Venus gene. It drops 198 coins, which then become 257, and there is a 1 in 64 chances that then become a 1 in 16 that it will drop a healing ring, which I'll go into detail after the battle. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Hard Render monster skill, which may lower the target's attack by 25%, and the Fireball, Shine Plasma and Bind synergies. So yeah, a returning enemy, one that could be found in Venus Lighthouse, I believe? And also the Suhala passage. But anyways, let's quickly go over the healing ring. At this point it is pretty much worthless. It has no defense boost, but it can be used from your inventory to restore 70 HP. So yeah. And other than the Nightmare, there's actually one other enemy, and hopefully we'll run into it before we're finished with this area. If not, I'll just go over the details. Well, it seems we may not. Anyways, right here we have a patch of weeds, and if we use Cyclone, we have a Mad Plant. This is actually the last Mad Plant of the game. It is level 35, it has 730 HP, no synergy, 358 attack, 103 defense, 174 agility and 21 luck. Its elemental stats are the same as for the other Mad Plants. It normally yields 1121 experience points, which then become 1457 if we finish it off with a margin. It drops 594 coins, which then becomes 772, and it has a guaranteed drop of a Lucky Pepper. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Poisonous Bite monster skill, the Man-Eater monster skill, and its new command is the Electric Bite, which is a Jupiter-based attack that may inflict stun. So yeah, let's actually see what we can... Let's be so mean to the enemy and not allow it to do absolutely anything. Let's see if we can either paralyze him or... what else can we do? That should be fine. Alright, one more hit should take it out. Fever and Cannon, and that should be enough. Yep, there we go. And we got some Lucky Pepper. So yeah, that was the last Mad Plant. There are still a couple of mimics to find, so we're not done with that particular line of enemies. Anyways, right here we have a chest, and we have what seems to be something bubbling from the water. And if you notice the stone pattern, we're supposed to use Reveal. And we got an elixir. I don't know why, but we got an elixir. Anyways, right there we have a Jupiter gem. And we need to cut him off at the middle by jumping right there. And similar to what we did with the Mercury gene, we can also use Hold on him, but it will do nothing other than showing us its portrait. So before we fight him, let me get Felix back right here. And well, the Jupiter gene are always quite fast, so that should be a good setup. Here we go. Here we have Gasp. It is level 32, it has 870 HP, 81 synergy, 276 attack, 84 defense, 239 agility and 27 luck. Its elemental stats are the same as any other Jupiter gene. It normally yields 1000 experience points, which then become 1300 if we finish it off with a Venus gene. It drops 660 coins, which then become 858. And well, as for its commands, it's pretty much the same commands as Whirl, the gene that we fought back at Jupiter Lighthouse. So yeah, alright, let's see what we can do here. Let's... Alright, let's see if we can not poison him, because if he dies from poison damage, I don't think that actually counts towards the EXP and coin boost. So let's just use regular attacks. And let's, I guess, boost everyone's speed. Actually, let's try and put him to sleep. And use Zephyr. Come on. Alright. 380. And yeah. Isaac's Excalibur plus a boost by a flint deals a ridiculous amount of damage. Alright, just in case that it actually wakes up, let's use Petra to completely immobilize it, and Felix can take him out with Geo. But it actually has quite a cool animation, so this might be a good opportunity to actually show it. Boom. Yeah, there we go. I haven't found the Jupiter Gene Gasp. Alright. Alright, so we're only missing one Mercury Gene on Pierce. As soon as we get that one, I'll go over the second rank of the Ninja, Medium, Ranger, and Dragoon. But anyways, for now let's go over Gasp. So its battle effect is possibly the worst out of all. It may inflict the Death Curse status on all enemies, which is the 7-turn counter, which is pretty much useless because A, most if not all bosses are immune to it, and as for any other enemies, you will most likely take them out before 7 turns pass, so it is pretty much useless. As for the set stat bonus that it provides, it gives a plus 12 to base HP and plus 5 to base synergy. And well, we have a bunch of other weeds, but there's nothing there really, so we can now leave the trial road. I want to see if we can actually run into that one enemy that we're missing. If not, I'll just go over its details as soon as we're out of here. Nope. Alright, let's take these ones out. And shovel level up, nice. Alright, so we managed to avoid it, but let's go over that enemy anyways. The enemy in question is the Mole Mage. It is level 31, it has 199 HP, 14 synergy, 265 attack, 47 defense, 74 agility, and 4 luck. It has a Venus and Mercury resistance of 48, a Mars resistance of 25, and a Jupiter resistance of 72. And it has a Venus elemental power of 100. It normally yields 191 experience points, which then become 248 if we finish it off with a Mars gene. It drops 132 coins, which then become 171, and there is a 1 in 32 chances that then become a 1 in 8 that it will drop an antidote. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Mad Spider and Worms monster skill, and the Mad Growth synergy. Right, so with that we're pretty much done here in Shaman Village and the trial road, so I'll see you guys back at the bottom of the trial road. Alright, welcome back. So, yeah. So, I think now the best course of action is actually try and head for the northern reaches, which is where supposedly Prox is located. But actually, before we get there, there's one more spot in Angara that I want to visit. And it is actually the shore right here. Since we're a bit far from it, I think I'm going to make a quick cut and I'll see you guys back at this spot in the map. Alright, welcome back. So, here we are. And let's actually see if we can get to where I want to go simply by flying. And we can. We have a cave. We have the Angara Cavern. So yeah, you may have already guessed that we can get a tablet salmon here. But before we go any further, I want to quickly set up a shortcut for carry, because for once we're going to have to use it. And then one for more. There we go. Alright, here we are. Let's move this all the way here. And then drop this one here. That was a bit too close. Let's actually just move it from here. There we go, and then just put them on top of each other. There we are. Felix can now summon Haures. To summon Haures, 3 Venus and 2 Mars Gene are needed. So, we got yet another tablet summon. Let's quickly go over it, shall we? Haures, a beast that thunders darkness. It requires 3 Venus and 2 Mars Gene. It has a base power of 270 Venus. It has an HP multiplier of 15%. It has a side effect that may inflict deadly poison, and after it is summoned it provides a power boost of 60 Venus and 30 Mars. Alright, so yeah, that's our second tablet summon for now, for this particular episode. Let's get out of here. Alright, so before we end the episode, I actually want to see if we can actually get to Prox. So let's head all the way north, right to this foggy area right here. And here we are at the northern reaches. And kind of similar to the Sea of Time, it is an area with a quiet sea and a huge amount of rocks, and also icebergs. And of course we get a few of the same enemies that we would encounter at the Great Western Sea. Though there are actually 2 new enemies that we can find here, and we may actually run into them. So this area right here is a bit of a maze, but it's very short, so you won't actually get lost. Alright. Getting Isaac's Excalibur is really paying off. Alright, here we are. Kraden, come look at this. There's a huge ice wall blocking our path. If we can't do something about that wall, we're not going any farther, Felix. So yeah, unfortunately it would seem that the access to Prox is completely blocked by the gigantic ice wall. So we may have to see if we can find some clues about what to do next. but I think we're going to leave that for next time. We got a bunch of Jin as well as 2 new summons, so I think that's more than enough for now. Next time we're going to see if we can obtain any more information as to how to get to Prox. See you guys